All right, let's take a look and see how we did today on this Wednesday, the 8th of November. Not a bad day overall. Not a huge day, but once again, remember these markets are just a little quiet right now, so we're not really pushing anything. Stocks are heating up. I definitely want to be doing some more stock trading in the morning next week. All right, so we'll be looking at that. But right now, just sticking with the energies, the metals, and what else? The indices. Didn't do anything on the metals today. Like I said, I'm probably waiting for that to heat up a little bit more. But if I see an opportunity, I'll jump into probably a gold would be my first choice. And some, of course, on the energies, we did take the crude today. So crude was a little choppy this morning. We did... let's see, this was about right before 9:45. We did come in with an HF2 buy and looked pretty good there for a while, but then it turned around and it collapsed on us. We ended up getting out, but we reversed. And the reason we reversed is because we had an HF1. You know, I'm a big fan of HF1s. It's one of my favorite patterns, particularly on the short side. I do very well on the short side for some reason. And I love shorts. So anyway, so not only did I reverse, but I went ahead and added to the position. And so in the room, we were looking at 3 different targets, but everything was very weak. And one of the things that we talked about is that we still had a very high probability coming down and hitting this target number 3. All right. And this is something that's really nice about the patterns in combination with Einstein, because the patterns give you a nice high probability of being successful, but the levels also have high probabilities of being hit, okay? It's called Einstein. And so we did hold out. We did go through and hit target number 3, and that's when we went ahead and covered on the crude. So I made a little bit of money on the crude. Let's see here. Let's see what else. Let's take a look at some of these indices. All right, Benny Russell. So pretty nice little trade on Benny Russell. We didn't get triggered until right after the opening. We did get triggered on an HF1. Now, when it pulled back here, nice thing about these patterns is they do also give us additional add-on areas to where we can go ahead and we can add to our initial short or buy, whatever the case may be. So it's very specific. It's not just we're just coming in here because it's going against us and we're going ahead and we're trying to average in. These particular areas also have very high probabilities of being either a buyer or seller. So we use them as add-ons. And so I did go ahead and I added on the mini Russell. And this is something that that we were all looking at this morning because it really looked good. Everything looked like it was going to come down. And sure enough, mini Russells finally started breaking. And we finally hit our target. And this was first level. First level on the mini Russell did not hold it beyond the first target. So we got ahead and got out of our first target. Nice little trade on the mini Russell. And just like yesterday, I mentioned the currencies are really starting to heat up. So we had a really nice trade on the currencies. I'll show you what I did on the US yen. All right, so finally, US yen once again. Now, this is what we call a crystal ball. Don't know if you've heard me mention that before, but tons of videos out there. I've done videos on crystal ball, several years ago. And yes, I use it. It's a very, very powerful approach to trading these currency pairs, Forex, or any currency for that matter. And this particular pattern does not look to stay in the trade more than 2, 3, maybe 4 minutes at the most. Most of these trades are going to come in and hit, and I'm going to be in and out pretty quick. And that's what we had. We had a beautiful, just a nice little crystal ball short on the US yen. And I was only in this trade, 2, 3 minutes, and went ahead and took my profit on that. So was it a big day? Not a huge day. But still did okay. Once again, I mean, I'm still, having under $1,000 days, which is fine. I mean, when the markets are quiet, you don't want to push it. And I haven't been really comfortable in here, really putting too much size on. Now, I do like what I'm seeing in the stock, so next week's probably going to be different. but I like the way that the stocks are starting to heat up. So, and maybe at the same time, we can get a little more aggressive on the indices. But like I said, I just want to wait and see what happens. But that's the thing about trading, folks. You gotta get a good feel for the conditions of the market, and sometimes the market is there, and you want to hit it hard, and then there's other times, if you've been around long enough trading, you know there's times to back off and go light. It's not something you're just going to be doing on you don't want to be hitting it hard every single day, and nor you want to be hitting it light every single day. You don't get anywhere on that. So you look at most of your long-term successful traders do adapt, okay, to the market conditions. They get more aggressive when there's opportunity there, when there's movement, there's volatility, and then when things start to slow down, they back off, and or they go very, very light, right? So that's something that just takes experience. It's not something you can't put it down into a black and white rule, even though a lot of people would love to be able to do that. It's not possible. It's just going to take time and focus on the market. And, this is like any profession. If you want to get good at it, you've got to work at it. You got to practice, right? You don't become a surgeon just because you go to school. You've got to practice surgery. And so it's the same with trading. You can read all the books you want, but you're going to have to get into the trenches and understand the markets and how they move. And, that's just the reality of trading. If you're not willing to do that, you're best to let a professional that's been doing it for a long time manage your money. And if you like to play, if you like to gamble, then go to Vegas and do that. But in the markets, it's going to take time to become a good trader. So I don't want anybody to ever think that these results are typical. Most people can't trade. Most people can't pull the trigger. Most people can't take a loss without them backing off and missing all the wins. Like I said, I've been working with traders now for over 40 years, and I can tell you for a fact that most people have a difficult time just psychologically making trades. It's not an easy thing to do, and a lot of trades are going to be counterintuitive. So a lot of times what looks good, okay, on the charts is not good, and what usually does not look good tends to be a good trade. And I hear not only do I hear some of my subscribers talk about it, but I see it all the time, where I'm not getting into that because it looks like it's going to keep going up, or I'm not going to get into that because it looks like it's going to keep going down. And it's just the opposite, because if you think about it, if it looks good to you like that without having a lot of experience, then everybody else is going to think that the market's going to go up or go down, just like you do. And that's why the majority of people lose money. So just because the market's going up doesn't mean you can't have good selling opportunities. Or if the market's going down, you can have good buying opportunities. Those typically are going to be your best opportunities. So anyway, that said, let's see what Thursday has to offer. Thursday's always been my favorite day to trade. Last Thursday wasn't really too exciting, so it's unusual not to have a good Thursday, so I'm hoping this Thursday will be better. So we'll see. A lot of times we'll be able to kind of gauge that by the morning activity. So we'll see if we have a lot of good volatility in the morning and the pre-market looks pretty active, then a lot of times that's going to follow through and it's going to end up being a good day overall. But we'll see. So please join us in the morning. We start at 9 a.m. Eastern every morning. First 30 minutes is open to everybody, so it's your opportunity to watch the trades called out live. I do give you my entries where I'm going to get out, and when I do get out, I'll let you know that as well. But there's no better way of learning than watching a trader trade live in the markets, and so that's why I suggested and encourage you to join me in the morning. And if you do have questions, okay, we do have a moderator in the room that will either answer your questions or I will do it. If I'm not looking at a particular trade, I do try to answer everybody's question the best that I can, unless I'm tied up in talking to somebody else and or I'm busy looking at trades. But please join us. And once again, if you like these videos, please subscribe. Also hit that like button and hit that notification bell. We'll keep you updated on not only any new videos, but you'll be notified of when these updates come out. All right. Y'all have a good day. See you tomorrow.